to VSPC. The visionary and founder of VSPC, Paco Ochoa. Our seasoned international rider, Edgar Nieto. And now the rest of VSPC, Daniel Vencarino, Marcelo Felipe, Nico Pareja, Ian Cajuco, Ismael Grossman Jr., Kenneth Maramba, Alex Magara, Edson Corbadora, and Miguel Andre Omega. If you could pick one memorable experience during this year that helped you as a professional rider, what would it be and why? So we'll go with Paco first.
Memorable race or
any experience? Yeah.
Tingin ko yung para sa akin yung training camp namin sa Spain kasi nung most part of the season or yung at least yung European racing block namin, doon kami naka-base sa Benidorm, sa Spain, sa south of Spain. And for 3 months, or more than 3 months for some, magkakasama kami sa isang bahay. 5 or 6 at one time. Tapos yung iba pupunta sa ibang race, iba pupunta sa ibang race. Tapos may mga times na magkakasama kami lahat na magta-training. Pero yun yung isa sa mga pinaka-memorable experiences ko kasi first time kong magkaroon ng na hindi ako mag-isang Pilipino sa abroad.
Okay.
And ang masaya lang yung experience kasi 5 kayong Pilipino magkasama sa isang bahay. Tapos may palitan ng duty kung sino maghugas ng plato, sino magluluto, kasabay mag-grocery kami, naghahanap kami ng mga sangkap na hindi normal para sa Espanyol pero pilitin namin makahanap ng toyo, pati suka para makaluto ng adobo.
Okay.
So yun yung parang masayang experience lang kasi yun nga, magkakasama, tapos nasa ibang lugar kayo. So iba pa rin yung experience talaga. And mas nakaka-bond mo yung mga teammates mo.
Edgar, what about you?
I think for me, the more memorable probably is we are racing in Vegas, in Portugal, and the last stage we climb over 2,000 meters and it's snowing.
Wow.
Nieve. And most of the guys never seen snow ever in their life. And it was awful day, like terrible weather, snow, cold, and weather. And it was very super hard day, but 2 of our Filipino riders finished the race, so wow, it was like incredible because when we went this year to Europe, I bring the guys in my hometown in Valladolid, but especially people think Spain is hot, but my hometown is not so much. Alexis enjoy a lot in my hometown, and yeah, most of them is first time they go not in abroad but outside of Southeast Asia, so they come from 30, 35 to zero. Like yeah, but this one they make the team like grow up a lot.
And now, Edgar, everyone is your hermano. Yeah?
No. They are my sons.
Oh, okay.
So it's like I have a son, my own, but Paco gave me this year 11 more.
11 more sons.
So
okay.
I'm every day fully asked with the telephone because at the end, I'm the senior rider, so always is have some problem in training. I can see my girlfriend is upset with me. I have a financial problem, a problem in the familia. Everything comes through me, so so yeah, it's like a big padre de familia now.
Nice. Okay. Thank you so much for that. You're amazing. Guys, ano yung pinaka-memorable sa inyo this year?
Sa akin yung nilaruan po namin sa Europe na Cebu Tour, na nakalaro namin yung mga malalaking team na kasali kami, at yung isang stage na tinatawag na individual time trial na sobrang brutal ng ruta.
Okay.
Almost 3.3 kilometer na more on corner, then yung kalsada niya hindi talaga maayos, parang hindi mo alam kung daanan mo talaga ng bahay.
Parang totoo ba? Dito na kami pinapadaan?
Oo. Kaya yun ang pinaka-masayang experience ko dahil doon ko lang naranasan yun.
So yun yung nabanggit din ni boss kanina. So tapos yung sa race din. So yun, para sa akin yun din yung memorable para sa akin. Kasi yun nga, yung sa bahay, parang toka-tokahan kung sino gagawa. Tapos yun, yung karera namin sa Europe na galing kami dito sa mainit. Pagdating namin doon na ang lamig. So nahirapan kami doon sa unang karera namin sa Asturias. Tapos para sa akin naging big part din sa memorable sa akin is yung maging part ng unang panalo ng Victoria Sports sa Oman na magtrabaho para sa aming leader. Tapos the following stage para depensan ko yung overall jersey. So yun, nakakatawa kasi naging isa ko sa naging part na mag-champion yung ka-team namin, si Nico, sister sa Salala. So yun, para sa akin yun po yung isa sa pinaka-memorable this year.
Wow.
Successful. Well, like I said yung kanina, no, and 10 months ago, sabi ko rin, ito rin yung sinasabi ko. Mahilig kasi kami manood ng sports. Lalo yung mga sports na nakikita natin yung mga fellow Filipinos na nag-perform ng maganda. Mahilig rin kasi ako manood ng bilyar. So madalas ko nakikita na syempre nung panahon pa nila Efren, nila Django, na nakakatuwa na nakakita ka ng Pilipino na nasa top level ng kung anong sport sila. And ganoon din syempre kay Pacquiao. Tapos feeling ko itong past 5 or 6 years parang nagkaroon ng third wave ng mga Filipino athletes ulit na nagpapakita sa atin na teka, kaya natin naman talaga kung maayos yung suporta, maayos yung training, nasa magandang environment, kaya nating makarating doon sa top level pa rin. And yun yung tingin kong pinakamalaking inspiration para sa amin. Kasi kasama sa formula ng success sa tingin namin yung meron kang parang pinagkakopyahan na hindi mo na kailangan mag-invento ng panibagong formula para sa sarili mo. Kasi ito na yung ginagawa nila EJ Obiena, kaya yung isa sa mga malaking sacrifice niya is yung tumira sa Italy, marami sa pamilya niya. Kasi nandun yung coach, nandun yung mga competition. Si Carlos Yulo nagpunta ng Japan, nandun yung coach, nandun yung competition. So yun lang rin yung mahirap para tingin ko para sa karamihan ng mga ibang Pilipino kasi first time nilang lalabas ng bansa, tapos biglang 3 months sila mawawala. Hindi sila sanay na FaceTime lang yung pamilya, tapos malaking challenge din yung magkaiba ng time zone, so yung timing, syempre magka-training, kaya nandun kasi ang priorities yung training, yung racing. So tingin ko yun yung pinakamalaking inspiration namin is yung mga Pilipino na nag-replace na nung trail para sa ibang Pilipino. Well, yung sa cycling industry sa Pilipinas, tingin ko meron tayong mga technical partners na makakapagsagot niyan ngayon kung kumusta yung industry itself. But from our perspective, since the pandemic, ang daming pumasok na mga nagbabike. Siyempre ngayon dahil back to normal na medyo marami rin na-stock na yung bike sa garahe at binibenta na. Pero tingin ko for the most part maraming pumasok sa cycling. And malaking addition yung documentary sa Netflix nung Tour de France kasi ang daming nanonood and ang daming mas nakakaintindi na ngayon na ito pala yung cycling. Para siyang, kasi ako nung pinanood ko yung Drive to Survive nung sa Formula 1, parang mas naintindihan mo na merong mas malalim na craft yung racing. And tingin ko nakatulong yun sa industry ng cycling. Lalo sa amin kasi ibang side kasi yung leisure lang yung umakyat ng Antipolo, pumunta ng Infanta. Doon sa professional cycling, mas nakakatulong sa amin kaya yung mga videos na pinaproduce namin for YouTube, for Facebook, ang pinapakita namin madalas yung behind the scenes kasi dahil behind the scenes na nangyayari. So tingin ko yun yung sitwasyon ngayon. Hopefully, makatulong kami sa growth ng professional cycling in the coming years.
So for how many members of Victorious Sports Pro Cycling right now?
Same lang rin siya as this year. For next year, same, 15 riders. 11 Filipino riders, tapos 4 na foreigners. And yung mga foreign members natin, well, actually si Edgar is half-half kasi dito na siya nakatira for 10 years. Nagtatago siya sa Dagupan. So, kaya siya rin yung isa sa crucial members dahil from both sides, kaya niyang mag-mentor, naintindihan niya yung mga riders. So, yun yung siya si Edgar. So, 4 na foreigners, 2 Espanyol, Brazilian, at isang Dutch. So, 15 pa rin.
Okay. Sir, congrats po once more dun sa mga accomplishment niyo this year. And what will be, ano po i-expect namin for this 2025? May mga may share o may ibabahagi na po ba kayo sa amin na pwede nyo po na magiging laban or competition international?
Yes, so far, ang nasa calendar namin na secure is yung Sharjah Tour sa Dubai. Malapit sa Sharjah Emirates, sa UAE. End of January 24 to 28, 5 days. So yun yung first race ng team. Ang excitement namin ngayon as a team, compared to last year, marami kaming binago as a team. So members, yung staff mismo, yung ibang kailangan i-tweak na inayos namin. But for next year, ang naiba lang is 2 riders. Same staff, halos magiging 80% similar yung calendar namin from this year to next year. So na-excite kami kasi at least makaka-build kami from what we've accomplished this year.
Sige po, may last question.
Well, actually at the moment we are having some talks with some companies that are really interested in having races. And hindi ko lang alam kung ano yung scale, if it's going to be 1 day or 2 days or tour or international. But isa siya sa mga gusto namin ma-achieve for at least for next year, masimulan namin yung mag-organize ng isang event and race. Kasi yun yung next step ng development, like you said, para maka-discover ng mga bagong riders, mga mas batang riders, is magpa-race. Kasi yun lang yung kulang actually for us Filipino riders. And ang dami rin kasing, sobrang daming riders sa Pilipinas, sobrang dami. And ang dami rin mga events na maliliit na kung saan makikita mo yung mga interest ng mga local sponsors and yung may mga clubs na talagang passion lang nila na sumuporta dun sa mga young riders. So, isa yun sa mga nasa plans talaga for next year.
By the way, in relation to that question, aside of course from mass participation events like Condo or Fun Ride, how about maybe weekly criterium races, probably, or short events also?
Well, yung weekly races, I'm sure baka familiar ka dun sa mga tinatawag na 20-20 races. Ang dami ng 20-20 kahit saan ka pumunta sa Ordaneta, meron dito lang sa UC Circle every Sunday. Hindi ko alam ngayon kung gaano sila ka-active at this time. Pero normally, kung Filipino rider ka, lalo yung mga mas bata, yan yung mga pinupuntahan nila. So, tingin ko para magkaroon ng totoong organizing committee yung mga nagpapa-event, baka medyo mahirap. But yun, yung focus namin for next year, at least isa sa mga gusto namin i-develop is yung magpa-race sana. Either here sa Metro Manila or other places.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Well, yung sa calendar, kaya ang goal namin at this time is to secure yung calendar as fast as possible para maka-plan din kami for the whole team. So normally, like next week, magkakaroon kami ng training camp with the whole team, except yung mga foreigners. Para ma-construct na rin namin yung calendar for each rider. So hindi naman kasi, hindi siya yung buong team yung pupunta sa isang race. Ang typical na number ng riders per team sa isang race is 5 or 6 or at most 7. So meron kami 15 riders. So at one time kaya namin mag-base ng 2 races. Pero hindi naman namin ginagawa. Normally ang mangyayari yung isang part ng team pupunta sa isang race. Tapos yung kabila pupunta sa isang race para may time makapag-prepare. And yun, dahil specific yung calendar for each rider and for yung parang squad, nakahanda na yung buong season nila just for those races. So may time na nasa training camp sila, tapos may racing block, tapos training ulit, tapos race ulit, gano'n. Tapos parang nagugulang yung puzzle ng team as the calendar goes.
So bali may team A, may team B, may team C, gano'n?
Parang gano'n. So normally sa cycling, ang hati ng team, depende sa races. May mga races kasi na mas mountainous for climbers, may races na flat for sprinters. Doon nahahati yung team. So may mga riders na mas malaki for sprinting, doon sila pumupunta sa mga flat races. Tapos yung mga climbers doon pupunta sa climbing races. Or may mga races na magkahalo. So binabalance lang yung team.
Vlogger. I'd like to address my question to Daniel and Edgar, perhaps. Since nakapag-race na kayo sa Europe, no? What's the difference between doing the races there and here? And pwede nyo bang sabihin sa amin kung paano yung preparation nyo? How many days you need to go there first para makita nyo yung course, yung ganun, and prepare for the race itself? Pwede bang pakikwento?
Yun po, sa una po yung time gap po. Tapos syempre sa Europe more organized, kung 10 sinabi yung karera, talaga mag-start ng 10. Tapos yun, yung mga kasama mo sa start line, kumbaga mga World Tour rider, mga Pro Conti rider. So doon pa lang sa start line pa lang makikita mo yung mga makakalaro mo, talagang mga may pangalan. Tapos yun, yung klima, una-una din yung klima, siyempre. Galing tayo sa mainit, kakarera tayo sa most nakarera namin this year, malamig nung first part ng season namin sa Europe. So yun, kailangan talaga kumpleto sa
outfit,
kumpleto ng panglamig, shoe cover, jacket, lahat para hindi ka lamigin. So yun, napakalaking adjustment nun para sa amin na bilang Pilipino. Tapos, yung training din na isa rin na malaking factor po sa Pilipino kasi sa Europe, kumbaga, yung traffic doon di naman ma-stop lang kami, mga 1 minuto, pinakamatagal na siguro 2 minuto. So kung ano yung program namin po sa araw na yun talagang nagagawa namin po ng quality talaga. Hindi kumpara po dito na oops, may deto, ganyan, traffic. Hindi kami nakakapag-focus talaga dun sa nagagawa namin pero hindi ganun quality. So, yun yung sasabi ko po na pinagkaiba po ng
local and international. Okay. How about you? Paano yung experience mo naman sa training?
Sa akin, yun, same po ng halos ng sinabi niya na yung training sa Europe, iba dahil doon 100% mo talaga magagawa yung training na binigay sa'yo ng coach mo. Dito sa Pilipinas, nagagawa naman pero siguro hindi 100% dahil una-una, siyempre nasa utak mo yung safety muna sa sarili mo. Dahil maraming tricycle, maraming sasakyan, etc. Then, hindi ka mukha doon na may sasakyan, pero alam mo kung paano sila umiwas sa mga siklista na ganito pala dito sa Europe. Hindi ka didikitan, hindi ka bubusinahan. Kaya yun, yung focus mo andun lang sa training o programa na ginagawa mo. Hindi tulad dito sa Pinas na kailangan alerto ka dahil mamaya hindi mo alam sa likod mo may biglang motor o tricycle na hindi ka mapansin dyan. So, mas malaki yung pwedeng mawala kung wag naman na mamaya ma-aksidente ka. Kaya yun, doon iba pa rin talaga doon.
But ilang araw ang preparation ninyo kung isang race is nandito sa location na to? Mga ilang days kayo pwedeng kasi yung tulog ninyo, iba din sa tulog nyo doon kasi sa time difference. Ilang araw kayo bago mag-race?
Sa akin, sa na-experience ko, almost 1 week or 2 weeks bago yung race. Dahil yun, kailangan muna namin i-adapt yung klima at yung oras. Yun ang pinaka-number 1 doon dahil ang layo ng gap. Galing na kasi dito sa Pilipinas, nakapag-training na rin. So, ang kailangan na lang namin gawin doon is yung i-adapt at yung course niya. Depende rin kasi may time na hindi mo talaga mapupuntahan yung course ng karera dahil una-una malayo. Minsan malayo kasi kayo sa destination niyo. At yun.
What I'm doing now, of course, for example, half of these riders I already knew before because they are professional, but other riders they are not. So I scout them like watching races like the national games, like the national championships, some like let's say the good one-day races we have here. I know with Alerto to try to watch some young riders. This year we racing here to the Vizcaya, and then from this race I got thank you also to Joshua Cariño, who is one of the sport directors. We are in contact with 2 junior riders for start to be in the process of the team. So the advice is to all the young riders that they want to apply in the Team Victoria. What they need to do is keep on racing what we have. Sadly, as you say, we don't have much at that point. This is very sad because the level of the riders will never grow up. We never come back to have state races, more solid calendar. We don't have any more international race here in the Philippines. But for the guys, especially young riders who want to try to apply to Victoria, I only can say keep racing, keep training, and I will be scouting all the time. I'm looking for new talents can grow up And now in cycling, it's become well, it's really wild because from junior you become professional. We don't have time to waste. So keep racing, going to the races, so prove yourself. Especially don't be afraid to be, when you race with professional, show me your anger. You want to race, you are not afraid. And then hopefully I will be in that race and you do good. Maybe I will approach you after the race or something like that.
Thank you. One more question. Can you tell us more about the bikes that you're using in the races? Is there a special requirement that you require that the bike should have when you're racing pro?
Well, we have the best bike in the market, so it's also something like very special for the Filipinos when we go Europe. When they start to see us, we have the S-Works, especially the 8, even Pro Conti or World Tour, they look and they say, oh, these bikes, where did you get it? Well, thank you, Sir Ricky. And yeah, so specifically, that's the first one is the Rose Race. It's like that. They cannot have suspension, need to be rigid, and the rest is like the handlebar need to be that cannot be straight like in the mountain bike, so it need to be like with elbow, and it's not much specific. It's a normal road race, road bike. Sorry, it's a normal road bike, but we have the best. And in the time trial, you have more specifics about the position. You can have your aero bars with your saddle. You have limitations, and it's a kind of a technical, and every year it's changing. So every year, most of the time, you need to change your position in the bike, the studies, and everything. But basically, as you can see. The road bike that doesn't have any specific item, like it's a normal road bike but with the best components in the market.
Thank you.
And I think